Guten Morgen from Switzerland. It's the Deep Forest Raceway. Now a promising return last time by with Season 2's World Super Touring Championship. And I think we've got a bit of a theme going here. I'm still at a loss to why we're doing it, but here we are, bang on about 4 o'clock in the morning, Swiss time, so you know it's precise, for race 13 and 14, round 7. And we've got an Alpha on pole there, Sabine Wittmann doing her utmost to get some championship credibility back in Alpha's domain, even though there's a BMW leading the championship in Jamie Webber. Adrian Michael Rees here, as per usual. And in the booth for the Worlds, Michael Swinnerton. Hello, Swinny.
Hello. This is a bit different, isn't it?
First thing in the morning, still we're kind of rough around the edges. And your team are taking part in the race. You've got your engineer on the wall, but we won't be able to speak to him this time by. So the front-wheel drive Alpha off the line, but in amongst those lights are a cavalcade of front-wheel drive cars separating the Alpha and the rest of the rear-wheel drives behind there. But the two Golfs have done the business as well as they go through turn 1. Suarez ahead of Wirtz, bit of a turn up there. The two Hondas, Thompson Lammers, 4th, 5th already, through a tight navigational section. Tunnels involved here as well. There's the first one, tight hairpin, second tunnel coming up. So a lot of this will still be side-by-side behaviour. Not that we're seeing it there. There we go. A bit further back. That'll start to spread out as the lap progresses. So Wittmann leads, Suarez second, Thompson third. There's Wickens now leading a decent group of Fords, making a bit more effort this time by. We discovered they found something in the setup. Well, there's contrast for you right there. We couldn't see who was who there, but then in the tunnel, clear as daylight whenever that's going to turn up. Hopefully it does do in this race. 13 and a half laps to go. The circuit underwent some development since 1997. Last time it was used. That hairpin, a bugbear of ours, maybe not the drivers. It used to be a really long sweeping turn. Whether it was safety, whether it was just for overtaking, just like that. Suarez down the inside of Wittmann. Is that move going to stick? Thompson up to third.
He's making no time about it, or he's not wasting any time getting the lead off of Wittmann there.
This is a turn up. Suarez is doing the opposite of what he did last season. Pole, but then lose the plot. The plot is in his hands now. Early doors. Well, let's see where those doors lead. Making metaphors there. Thompson, third. Wirtz down to 4th. Nicky Lammers holding station in 5th. But then you got the 3M Ford ahead of the two Works Fords. This is a bit of a turn up. The camber you see in evidence there might be helping towards that.
Hello is now looking like he's holding up the next trio of rear-wheel drive cars here in Dumas and the two Works BMWs, although once again we get to this back section of the track and the front-wheel drive cars can really let their straight line speed make up the difference for their lack of cornering abilities.
And a glimpse of that with some of the privateers there through the tunnel. Some of those were gaining on the likes of those BMWs there. Might have been a glimpse of a battle further back with one of the Weber Schneider BMWs.
Yeah, it's Fisichella trying to make something of a race, considering his teammate is currently second and potentially wanting the lead back.
Yeah, and also Dumas in the other less performative Alphas. There it is.
Oh, he's under attack by Weber though. He's got to pull out all the stops to try and keep that BMW behind him, and sadly let the Ford in front sail off into the distance as Fisichella gets around Schneider and puts himself in between the two BMs.
And whilst all that's happening, Toyota have probably missed the mark here, scraping into the points currently with Butcher. Wittmann still second.
Apparently both of those Toyotas are they're fighting chronic oversteer issues where the turbo is kicking in at just the wrong point in the rev range, which is causing the rear wheels to spin up, so they have naff traction coming out of slow speed corners, whereas a lot of other cars can just put their foot down and get on with it.
Chronic oversteer, but then chronic indecision from Toyota higher ups, so no news there on what the season 4 decision is going to be. Wickens doing a good job though for the privateers in 3M, but perhaps the message from the work team to get Salo ahead of him, or well, in this case Palou as well. Two relative newcomers doing a decent job considering how bad Ford's season has been until now, by the looks of it.
Oh yeah, just like Sabine Whitman's rather forgettable and lamentable first half of the season, Ford have definitely found something here in this second half, which is good to see. Especially with Salo's performance last time out at Watkins Glen.
So Fisichella with the fastest lap, but the traffic is not going to help him when he needs to be up there with his teammate. Evidence enough right there that Wittmann is doing a decent job getting the pole, but still maybe should have been a bit more defensive on lap 2.
Well,
of course.
Well, you say that. She's looking aggressive to try and take the lead back now.
Didn't I?
We know that Volkswagen has the weaker brakes when it comes to the braking power of all these cars on the grid here. And so Suarez is going to have to work double hard to keep Whitman behind him going into these heavy braking zones. But the speed of the Golf there in the straight line, evident with how much of a gap he managed to pull out. But Whitman just claws it straight back at the hairpin. Can't do anything about it, but can close the gap.
Still a decent train further back. Thompson threatening to get second as well. Vertlammer still holding station 4th, 5th. Then the Ford train behind. Fisichella is trying to get on board, shall we say, but Dumas and Weber are there too. And the sun the light starting to appear over the horizon. Weber down the inside almost. There was a glimpse.
There was a look.
It's a decent crowd here for a start so early. And I think visually you're kind of seeing that with the lick of flames from the exhaust as well.
Yeah, everybody's anti-lag is working overtime to give us all the pretty pops and bangs coming out the exhaust pipes there.
It is as you were. Suarez, Wittmann, Thompson.
This is where Whitman made a dive last time. She has another look. Either she makes that move stick or she's going to scare Suarez out the way.
Now the Honda power might threaten to do what it was threatening last time by. Enough of a slip through the tunnel here.
Whitman's starting to pull away. And there's Wirtz out of nowhere.
Okay. I thought Honda had that.
Hello, Nico. Where did you come from?
Over the border.
Yeah. Despite already having a home race at the Red Bull Ring, this could kind of count as his holiday home race, as it were.
So Thompson, well, is as weak as I am. He's starting to fall back into the clutches of his teammate.
Let's suddenly turn the wick up to 11 because already he's hounding Whitman for second place. He wants to make this a Volkswagen 1-2.
He'll be a very happy paddock, or a happy Volkswagen camp at least.
there is a big section of the fan campsite that are VW enthusiasts, and I believe they're an entire owners group here. So they're going to be making a lot of noise about these two Golfs.
Almost halfway. Biggest change really is Nico Wirtz there. Thompson now being a bit more defensive against his teammate. The Vic and Salo Palou chain of command still wants addressing. But there's the power of the Volkswagen. Not enough of a gap, or not enough of a pace around the outside.
He had to pull out of that one. He saw Whitman moving over, but he's still got the grunt. Is he going to be able to hold it on the brakes though? Because we know that Alpha's better on the slowdown.
That should have been on
stuck
earlier.
The inside, but
yeah,
Whitman
it should have been on earlier.
Run round the outside.
But the threat is definitely there down this particular hill. Over what is still the start-finish line from the old version of the circuit. If made a little bit safer.
He's having another look.
Again,
out of it though.
Happening. The crowd loaded up with coffee and hot chocolate, what have you, have been witness to some great displays of fireworks from the cars themselves. You've still got a BMW ahead of Whitman's teammate. No one making any sudden moves yet. Yeah, the tyres should be still cold enough not to lose any of the perceived grip it should have for the later stages of the race, and this might explain why they are to a degree behaving themselves. Saying that, Webber could have made a move now.
Hung it dry around the outside. I don't know if that's going to pay many dividends, but yeah, no, they are being all very well behaved and staying off of curbs, I have noticed.
Some of the further shots there.
Here comes Wirtz again.
Easier to see some of the cars now, the light's starting to break through the clouds. There's the move. Well, I thought that was on then, but Whitman is still.
She got the better line going out the corner, but there we go. Yep, it is now a Volkswagen 1-2.
The owners' clubs will be pleased, and barring a model adjustment, we are back to where we were last year with the Volkswagen team, and they'll be happy enough with that. Vicken still keeping 3M happy, but not the main factory support behind him. Not that you need factory support in Dumas' eyes.
Given the season that Stuart Wickens has had so far this year, and the disturbing lack of points he's managed to accrue, I think he's going to fight tooth and nail for every top 10 position he can. Try and salvage something out of this year.
And he's outscoring his teammate, who didn't perform well when he, Camish that is, was at the Ford factory effort. The fact that they've had to hire a rookie to make up for that is evidence enough in Ford's eyes. In the supporters' eyes, perhaps. Camish is somewhere in that sort of secondary pack. Fingers crossed he's not the straggler further back there on the timing board.
30th.
There we go. So in the points, Butcher and Kobayashi for the pride of Japan. Privateer against the factory effort. Honda will be happy. Toyota less so.
Yeah, as I said, those Toyotas are suffering from chronic oversteer issues, so they're really struggling to put the power down out of corners, and it is hurting them massively around this track, which, you know, as much as you need straight line speed for the start-finish straight and that whole mountainside back section, sectors 1 and 2 here are insanely technical. You need a lot of grip and a lot of handling to get the car to behave.
To compromise. It's a hard work to get that compromise in, because you get this right, you've kind of ruined it for the rest of the lap. So it has to be this section that perhaps does get overlooked for the sake of straight line speed.
Yeah, some teams try to do a balance between the two. Some teams try to trim the cars out and maximise their top speed so they can
Down the inside.
She knows she's better on the brakes there, but she can't make anything of it, and it kills her momentum coming out of this corner. It's what allowed her to get overtaken in the first place. She needs to be careful doing that move.
Because Thompson is going to gain.
Yes.
As is the rookie team at Lammers. They're there or thereabouts. As is still the rest of the field behind them, to a degree. But Palou down the inside of... Sorry, Salo down the inside of Vickens almost.
Yeah, he had a sniff. Yes, I don't think Whitman's going to take this lying down. She got the pole. She wants to make something of her season, given its disastrous first half.
Volkswagen still want to do the same thing. Almost mission accomplished. 5 to go for them. Thompson, though. Bit of sight games here. Honda know they've got the power. There goes Salo. This is going to be tight, but he's on the outside for this corner, but the banking should help him. Though this next corner is off camber, so you're not going to be able to go around the outside here unless you are an absolute madman. Or a genius.
Oh, he nearly made that work.
As a rookie, that was hard to come by. But there goes Dumas down the inside of Palou by the looks of it.
Oh, yeah.
Move is on, and Webber's going to capitalise.
Oh, Palou might get himself freight trained here, but he got a good run out of the corner. Again, using that outside line and just straightening the wheel up, just to get himself more momentum. Did not take no for an answer.
There we go. That's a definite no, and the door is closed on Dumas Alpha. Now, hopefully they won't need to use their headlights anytime soon. Getting clearer and clearer as we go. Red sky at morning, though.
Driver's warning.
I see no ships. Suarez and Wirtz. This is close. This is, well... Do you want to be team orders in Volkswagen right now? You're
evidently kind of... not, because Wirtz is having a go.
Or is this actually the call? They're not at loggerheads here. There's no damage in that particular tussle. Wirtz leads. Which is helping Wittmann.
Wittmann's caught straight back up again.
Is that down the inside? I think so, but it's going to be the outside again.
She's going to be able to use the camber of the corner and the rear-wheel drive nature of the Alfa Romeo to make that stick.
Well, the Foley Clover being very lucky for Alfa right there. Thompson, though, still not close enough, but there's the top 5. Salo is now up to 6th. Wickens has fallen back and into the clutches of Dumas.
And Palou has found himself in 11th, 12th. He's got himself freight trained horribly by all the rear-wheel drive cars.
There's a severe... The momentum might have just gone there then. I don't think that was...
All it takes is to be out of position for one corner, and that's it. You're going to get passed by several cars, as we just saw with Suarez getting a buy one, get one free deal going in the wrong way, but he's not taking that lying down.
Not through that hairpin, though. It's helping Honda. It's helping Salo and the Ford get close again. But here's where the power needs to be fed, and fed well, through one of the faster turns on the track. If not the fastest corner on the track.
The difference in
this
straight
far
line
back,
speed
perhaps.
is ridiculous.
But you remember the brakes. But where's Wittmann going? For the lead, obviously, but not there.
She has the bit between her teeth for this race. This is a much more aggressive Sabine Wittmann than we've seen in races previous.
The cohesion between driver and engineer now a bit more on point since the change after, or just before Maggio. Fisichella still with the fastest lap. And still struggling to get into the top 10.
She's going to try it again. definitely thinks that can work.
Volkswagen with the power down, but it's the brakes into that particular turn, much like the hairpin coming up. Then I think that's where Wittmann's trying to calculate a move, but it's perhaps too far back through the
Yeah, she loses
undulations.
too much gap down that straight-ish section in order to really capitalise. Her best bet is going into turn 1 like she did with, or like she followed through on Suarez with Wirtz.
Yeah, that Volkswagen though, the power on it is producing that buffer that prevents Wittmann getting the overtake then.
No, she is closer this time. She's already pulling out to have a look.
2 to go.
Is she going to make this stick this time? She's going to stick her nose in. She's got alongside.
No damage.
Ooh,
Fair exchange, no robbery.
Slight push wide and slams the door on Wirtz's face.
Number 1 back in number 1. The response from Volkswagen though through that sector.
Well, this
not
is where
evident.
the Volkswagen's going to be weaker.
Fisichella now into the top 10. Kobayashi looks, well, I'll say it again, unless something ridiculous happens, I think that's your top 15 right there. Whatever order though, with a lap and a half of goodness to go.
The gap that Wittmann has already pulled out on Wirtz. She was clearly a lot quicker than the 2 Volkswagens in front of her, just couldn't find the space to make a move stick anywhere, which is possibly why she was looking up the inside of corners she probably shouldn't have been looking at.
By coincidence then, if Fisichella stays where he is, you know what's up. I think that would be too much of a coincidence to call it being a deliberate ploy to get pole for race 2 though.
No, I don't think so. I think he's just getting caught up in the traffic.
Sillier things have happened.
Especially
Thompson,
given that this top 5 have broken away from Salo in 6th. And then we have this train behind Wickens.
Wickens being the cork perhaps?
Maybe. I think it's another situation of Wickens' car is very good through sectors 3, essentially, 2 and 3, which is all the straight line bit, but then sector 1 going into sector 2, which is all the technical twisty bits, he's going to back them all up to him again.
And with 1 to go, top 5 looks nailed on. This battle though, unrelenting. Dumas is just calculating what sort of move they'll have to perform.
Yeah, Wickens here looking back at a
the
horde of rear-wheel drive cars, and then Palou all the way back there, and his own teammate back there.
I'm sure he's looking at that less than we are right now. You can see Kobayashi, that was 15th at the back of this crocodile.
It's a big train.
Leader through the final braking area. Thompson still 4th. Lammers, good day for Honda, but even better given the loss of pole position from Wittmann. Managed to clutch it back, grasp it back, and make a gap on Wirtz and Suarez. Welcome back to the top step, Sabine Wittmann. Where have you been this whole time? Good day for Volkswagen, obviously, and an even better day for Salo and Ford. That being said, Palou did get freight trained, it must be said. Fisichella pole for race 2. Kobayashi with the solitary point. Lammers grabbing the fastest lap at the end of the race there.
So he did.
I think E-Day, the rest of the runners, maybe, well, Renault. We were too busy looking at the rest of the field there, but Renault have fallen back into that lull.
Yeah, their car I don't think is...
well.
I mean, I said that the Toyotas have chronic oversteer. I think the Renaults are suffering chronic understeer and oversteer.
So,
given what I saw of those cars in practice, they're not happy around here at all.
So suffering from chronic everything.
Yes.
As we hit the brake. Normally this would be a brake for dinner, but obviously it's breakfast time, I reckon. We'll have to sort of get our bearings together. Good race, not the best, but obviously some surprising outcomes as well. But we'll be a bit more awake next time by. On behalf of Michael Swinnerton, I've been Michael Rees, and we shall see you later. Good racing, everyone.